What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jerome. I'm back with an insecure review. This is season 3, episode 7, and it's titled Obsessed Like. So, without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright, so we got Issa in her apartment. She's waking up, and Issa is stuck hella hard on Nathan. She's looking at her phone. Every time somebody, texts her anything, she thinks it's Nathan, and I'm like, Issa, calm down. Like if he's gonna respond to you, he's gonna respond to you. If he's not, let that shit go. So then you got Molly and Andrew. They are out on a date with each other, and Molly wants to know. Well, not Molly, but Andrew basically just wants to know why Molly ducked and dodged him. After the whole Coachella thing and all that kind of stuff. And she says the reason why she really did avoid him was because she was embarrassed about everything that happened in Coachella. Which I'm like, Molly, that's not the complete truth. The real truth is you don't want to date him. You don't want to date him because he's Asian, which I think that's stupid as fuck. And then I think he was trying to ask Molly what she was doing later that night, and she was talking about she had to do some work and all that kind of stuff. He was like on a Saturday, and she was like, she was talking about her case that she has with Tarian and all that kind of stuff. So he was like, okay, what are you doing tomorrow? And he says, they agreed to maybe hang out with each other tomorrow. And then you got Lawrence and Chad. They are going back to Lawrence's place. I think they just came back from playing basketball and all that kind of stuff. And Chad is trying to get Lawrence to go out with him on the, go out to the club with him, all that kind of stuff, pick up some girls and all that kind of stuff. And Lawrence is basically like, you know what? I'm not going out. I can't go out with you tonight because I got plans tomorrow. And Chad is asking him what is he got planned tomorrow. And he's basically telling him that he's going to go to church tomorrow. And, Chad didn't look like he was really 100% for that when Lawrence said that he's going to church. And he's trying to go out go out for the night and pick up some girls, bring some girls home, and fuck them and all that kind of stuff. I think Lawrence is starting to trying to change because, last week when we saw Lawrence and Issa was asking him how everything was going with him, how he's just working, having sex, and catching diseases, STDs and all that kind of stuff. So I think Lawrence is trying to take a different route at this point. All right, then we still got Issa. She's still bugging, flipping out over Nathan. So she's, in her bathroom. She's taking pictures of herself so she can post them on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So when she posted on Instagram, the first comment that she got, she thought it was, Nathan, but it was actually her brother Amal telling her she looked thirsty as shit. And what some other stuff he said. I forgot what he said, which he was right. She does look thirsty. And then she puts that down, and then she gets another notification on the phone, and this time it was from Frida, who's telling her she got that same top and all that kind of stuff. So then she goes over to Nathan's page, and I'm like, Issa, calm the hell down. Like, if dude wants you, he will come back. Like, eventually he will come back if he's really that interested in you. Which I feel bad for Issa, but you just got to take the punches and roll with it. So then, she tries to talk to him on one of they fake pages that she and I guess the girls share together. So she texts him and asks him who changed the password. And Kelly takes it back talking about, she changed it to Slap a Hoe 64 or something like that. So, Issa goes onto his page and she tries to direct message him as if she's a different person. So she sends the message. But when she sends the message, she sends it from her Instagram page. It's like, oh shit, like delete. And she does delete it. Which I didn't, I'm like, really? That's not a function on Instagram that you can delete a message, but okay, if y'all say so. All right, and then you got Lawrence and Chad. They are at church. The preacher's up there giving his sermon and all that kind of stuff. And, Chad, instead of listening to what the preacher is saying, he is more so focused on the, quote, bitches in the audience and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking shit serious? Like, and then, the preacher, he's tying in social media to his sermon, which a lot of preachers these days do that. I noticed that. And, at the end of it, when pastors and preachers ask people to come up who want prayer and all that kind of stuff, Chad's dumbass gets up talking about he has strayed away from God. And I'm like, oh my God, Chad is a complete fucking fool. Like, what the hell? And, that was pretty much that with that. Speaking of church, like, I've been sitting here since last night. I've been binge watching Greenleaf. Oh my God, that show is really good. I think it's off this week. So probably the following week when it comes back, I will start doing reviews on Greenleaf because I really do like this show. So, look out for that. All right, then we got Molly. She's at her apartment. She get a call from Tarian. And, basically, she's asking, she's telling him how she's ready for this presentation that they have. And she's come up with some ideas and all that kind of stuff. And Tarian is telling her that he has to postpone it. And then he's not sure if he'll be back in time for them to get their presentation because he got an unexpected hearing that he has to go to. And the judge is requesting him to be there. So Molly's like, now what the hell am I going to do? So back over at the church, you got Chad and Lawrence. They're coming out. Chad is telling people how he's going to see them next Sunday and all that kind of stuff. So basically, Chad loved the sermon, which is completely opposite of what you would expect from the conversation that they had the day before, how Lawrence was the one who wanted to go to church and Chad was not. Lawrence, like I said, Chad liked the sermon, but Lawrence was kind of, like it wasn't for him and all that kind of stuff. So, he's walking away, and then there's a young lady who comes up to him, and they start talking, and then they hit it off with each other. And, I think she asked him how did he feel about it, and, like I said, Lawrence is just not 100% sure that was for him. And, it's not always for everybody, but, you got to find, because some people preach differently than what other people preach. And for one, to me, that looked like a mega church, and I'm not 100% a fan of mega churches. I prefer, churches where it's just, it's a family church, pretty much, to say that, if that makes sense. So, I can see how he didn't feel connected to that sermon at all. All right, and then you got Molly and Andrew. They are out again. And, he's asking her about her case, and she's telling him about, what's going on, how Tarian's out of town, and she's not sure what's going to go on with her case. And then they talk about everything that was said at Coachella. She kind of forgot some of the stuff that she said, but she does remember all the stuff that he said, and vice versa. He remembers everything that she said. She was talking about how he said he kissed one of his friend's girlfriends and all that kind of stuff. And then he mentions her fucking Dro, who was married. I'm like, oh, can we not mention Dro? Like, can we go one episode this season and not mention Dro? Like, please. So, she gets mad at him about that because, she's like, he doesn't know the situation. So basically, he wants her to tell her the situation and all that kind of stuff. And, he said something to her. She didn't like what he said. And basically, at the end of the day, she got up, left his ass sitting right there in that booth. And that was the end of the day. All right, now we are back at Issa's apartment. She is looking at her phone. She's still, someone called her and she answered the phone. Again, she's still thinking it's Nathan. I'm like, Issa, why are you still stuck on him so badly? Like, I don't get it. But it was the manager of the apartment telling her that she overslept and missed the plumber. So she goes out there where the plumber is, and she is still once again looking at Nathan's Instagram. And she did see a photo of him with a woman. And she's like, who is this woman? Who the hell is this? And then she scrolls down and it says happy 50th birthday to his mother. And, she see where he got it, either he got a haircut from somebody or gave somebody a haircut. And, she just basically like, getting up, trying to hype herself up to do stuff. And I'm like, Issa, please calm down. Like, was the dick that good? Like, come on, Issa. Like, I don't get it. Like, why are you going this hard for him? And you didn't go this hard for Lawrence. Granted, two different situations, but I don't get it. All right, then we got Molly. She's at work, and one of her partners comes up to her office and asks her when is Tarian going to be back. And, she's talking about how she's not really sure. But, she's trying to tell him some ideas that she has and all that kind of stuff. And basically, the partner just, he says here, oh, shit, excuse me. Basically, he tells her, excuse me. He's telling her that he's going to wait for Tarian to get back and all that kind of stuff. And then, not Issa, but Molly's like, well, she knows all this stuff. Why don't she present it to the partners? And he's sitting there thinking to himself like, maybe not. But then he does tell her, get yourself together. I'll go get the partners. We'll go into a meeting room and we'll all, you can tell us what's going on further. I don't think that's going to work out for Molly, though. That's going to cause a whole lot of shit. All right, so then Issa calls Molly. She needs Molly's help. So, they are in the car and they pull up to Andrew's house. So basically, Issa is using Molly to get in the front door. So, Molly's talking about, but I told you that he's canceled and all that kind of stuff. You're like, girl, just one bad date and all that kind of stuff. So, she tells, and basically, Molly tells Issa that she's looking crazy as hell, which she is. So they go up to the front door with whatever they had. And Andrew wants to know, why are they there and all that kind of stuff. And, she basically, Issa's talking about how she got to use the bathroom. So, she goes upstairs and then she's walking around. I think she walks to Nathan's room. So then downstairs you got Molly and Andrew. Molly is basically apologizing to, giving a half-ass apology to him. And he's like, but you the one who left me on a date by myself and all that kind of stuff. And, and then he asked her, now, I didn't agree with him when he said, he got the Molly that was on Molly and then this Molly. And he said, are both of them fucked up? I'm like, that was not the right thing to say. So, Issa, she's upstairs. She's in Nathan's room. She's going through his underwear drawer. She is trying to get into his computer and all that kind of shit. And I'm like, Issa, you are making yourself look crazy as fuck. So while she's doing all this stuff, Molly comes upstairs and sees her and tells her, bitch, we gotta go. Let's go. So, they go downstairs and then, they sit in the car and, Molly tells her basically, let this shit go. If he wants you, he wants you. If he don't, he don't. And, Issa thinks that she scared him off because she was too real with him and all that kind of stuff. And then, I'm with Molly. If you were too real with him and that scared him off, then he ain't the nigga for you and all that kind of stuff. And, basically, Issa's thing is he's the, he made her feel like she's worth something and all that kind of stuff. And she's just not sure that she'll feel that from someone else again. And I kind of feel bad for Issa in that sense because, basically it's a validation thing for her. And I don't know why she feels like she needs someone to validate her. Granted, her life is in disarray and all that kind of stuff, but you don't need validation from anybody at this. Who is Nathan to validate who you are and who you aren't? All right, then you got Lawrence. He's still with that girl that he met at the church and all that kind of stuff. And, they are talking about, how he felt about the sermon again. And, she felt that the sermon was good. But, like I said, Lawrence didn't really feel like it was for him and all that kind of stuff. And, she's telling him about her experience when she first started going to the church, how she felt the same way that he felt. But what worked for her was she got involved with Bible study and all that kind of stuff. And that was a year later. And, she's feeling different about it and all that kind of stuff. Because at first when she got there, she was just going through the motions. And, she just, like I said, she wasn't really feeling it. So, I guess she's trying to tell Lawrence that, stop trying to go through the motions. Get involved in Bible study. Get involved in this and this and that. And maybe it'll, be something better and beneficial towards you. And then lastly, Issa, she is meeting with Lawrence after her entrepreneur workshop that she has. And she basically thanks him for giving her the heads up on that and all that kind of stuff. And then, she asks him, is he free for coffee? So then, they go to get coffee and all that kind of stuff. And they, talking, having a good time and reminiscing about stuff. And, she tells him about, in her Lyft ride, how she had Black Yoda in the car with her. And, he tells her what's going on in the apartment complex and all that kind of stuff. And then Lawrence asks Issa how was Lyft. And, she said good at first, but then she tells him how things have been rough for her, how, she's been living on people's couches and stuff and all that kind of stuff. And, he asked her about her block party. And basically, Issa got in her head about it and all that kind of stuff. And Lawrence basically tells her, get out your head and, you got this and all that kind of stuff. And then, he starts talking about, with the church and all that kind of stuff. And Issa gives him some advice. Maybe that church was not for you. Maybe you should, just, go around. Because she brought it back to him talking about sushi, how he thought all sushi was trash. But then when he ate one particular sushi, he liked it. So basically what she's telling him is that although that one church might not have been for him, try different churches to find what works for you, which I definitely agree with that. Because like I said, they look like a mega church, so the mega churches is not for everybody. It is for some, but not for everybody. Some people prefer, small churches where, they feel like it's everybody knows everybody type of situation, I guess to say. So I definitely like that. And that was Insecure. Like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later.